Hey guys, what's going on? So, as my Baby Yoda obsession continues, I found a way to acquire yet another one without actually having to acquire it. So, this little guy is actually the Costco bundle of the 11-inch Mattel Baby Yoda. And this just came out and came out for the holiday season. Comes with a few extra accessories, which I'm anxious to take a look at. And this is going to be going to a friend of mine who does not have access to this. And he does need me to break it down into a smaller box, which means I get to take it apart and then see all the bits first. So we're going to take a look at this. So the box itself is a much nicer box than the fake pram looking thing that the other Baby Yoda came in, which I did like the pram, not going to lie. But as you can see, I'm building my own. Right now I got the 11-inch guy sitting in there as I build it. It's about a 1/2 scale to the one on the show, because the one on the show is like the size of a bassinet. It's huge, and I'm not going to build that. But the little 16-inch egg is plenty. And it's actually perfectly sized for these little guys, the little 7-inchers, which is what I'm actually probably going to put in there for scale purposes. But I have the thing about the 11-inch. I really like how big it is, and I like the look of it. And I did not pick up a sideshow. A lot of people were asking me, am I going to get the sideshow? I am not spending $375 on a Baby Yoda. I'm not spending $375 on anything. So, no, I don't have the sideshow coming. But a friend of mine did get one, and I'm anxious to see it. We're going to take a look at it when he gets his. So I will get a chance to look at it. And like I said, I'm anxious to see what it looks like. But the box is very simple. Comes in many languages, 3 languages, 1 figurine, 4 accessories. Does not have lights or sounds or anything. But one thing I did like is that on the back, it shows you everything it comes with. I'm actually very pumped it comes with a shifter knob. It comes with a regular frog, which is funny. The frog is not accurate, obviously, because it's a space frog. It doesn't have 2 eyes and everything. This is just a normal frog, probably just something Mattel had. And it comes with a bowl, which is cool. The bowl is not the same as the 7-inch bowl. It is bigger than that. And it shows a picture of Baby Yoda eating the frog. So let's take a look and see what all these bits look like. Again, they did a really good job with the background and everything. Now I have a V1 11-incher. This looks identical to the V2. The V2 had a slightly different cloth and a slightly greener paint job. So I will compare this to my guy in just a moment. First, I want to see what the restraint is. It's the same thing I thought it would be, which is these little plastic ties. So we're just going to cut those really quick and get this thing moving. Because the hand looks upside down, but it turns out they just twisted it that way. So that's easy enough. The Mythosaur pendant is plastic. We will compare it to the other Mythosaur pendant that comes with the 7-inch animatronic one, which actually I haven't done a video on. Maybe I should show it to you in this video and save myself the trouble. These, they love their end bits, man. Get that out of there. These things. These stupid things. I hate these things. Why do they love using these in excess? It's so irritating. It does come with a genuine leather strap. That's kind of interesting. I was not expecting them to put any effort into that part of it. What is this still tied to? Is it the neck? It is the neck. It's a zip tie. Let's go ahead and cut that. There it is. All right. So let's start with the figure. And like I said, I did not expect this to be any different whatsoever from the standard Mattel 11-inchers. So as we can see, it's still that same beanbag bottom, no feet. The cloth is long enough, though, that you can add feet, which, of course, I will be doing down the line. It's got the hollowed-out Mythosaur pendant, so it's not exactly the same. Interesting. This one says 2020 Mattel, made in China. So this is just a 2-piece front cast, but it's got a nice silver finish, which is cool. Has a nice chromey look. I really do like the cloth on this version of the Baby Yoda compared to the OG. Let's get the OG. Come here, you little bastard. So this is V1. And again, I did a video comparing V1 and V2, but you can see V1's a little lighter. The hands are the same, just again, a little different paint job. But The coloring in this will grunge up much nicer than this will, I think. This one's just a little too bright, a little too clean, but looks really good. And we will be, and of course this one is posable because I put the posable wire in it, but really nice look. I think he might be too green. I don't know. Interesting. But, so as you can see, it's just the standard V2, which I believe is the only one they put out now. I don't even think they're putting out that V1 anymore. This is the Mythosaur pendant that came with the Lights and Sound Baby Yoda. And so as you can see, it's not identical. It's a little smaller, and it has a slightly different look. The curvature to the bottom of the teeth is a little different. And this one is a complete pendant. So this one will paint up a lot nicer than this hollow one will. But still, either one, I mean, will display nicely. And this can be, rub and buff this and graphite powder, and you're ready to rock and roll. So either way, pendant is nice. And yes, this is partially attached. So it's basically identical. So it is the Mattel standard Baby Yoda. So it's nothing too different. But the thing is, this retails at $19.99. So if you're going to buy a Baby Yoda, why not go to Costco and get the one that comes with all the extra stuff? It's the quality is the same. So Baby Yoda looks good. About what we thought. Let's look at some of the accessories. I'm going to cut more stuff. People are always like, how come you don't turn the camera onto the stuff and I have to stare at you the whole time? It's my channel, and I'm going to do it the way I want, and you have to stare at me, so suck a dick. So here's the frog that it comes with, and he's just a regular Mattel frog. It probably came from some nature set or something. This was not created for Star Wars. Now, if you want to be a real douche, you could cut one of these eyes off super simple, actually cut them both off, sand this down, put the eye in the middle and repaint it, and make yourself a very nice space frog, if you were so inclined. This is the space frog. So this guy, with the single eye, is the Baby Yoda that comes with, it comes with the cooing Baby Yoda, I call it. So it's this little dude. This little dude, the lighter of the two. It comes with this guy, who's just a squishy. He's the only one that comes with feet, which of course I will probably rip off and salvage and put onto the other Baby Yoda, because they actually look okay size-wise if you just put them on just to have feet. But he had a little voice box in it to make the sounds that the animatronic one does, but you have to squeeze them to do it. And I'm actually ripping that out and putting it in the 11-inch one. But he came with the bucket and this little frog. But the frog is of a decent enough size that you can put it with the 11-incher. So this guy I have other plans for. And this is the little bowl that frog came with, which I've shown. So yeah, so the frog is nothing special. It's just a nice little extra thing they threw in just to make it more attractive and push these items, push the stock. Because as you know, with Mattel, they overmake everything. All the Motu fans know what's going on with Mattel. So interesting that it came with a frog, but if you want it to be more lifelike and more correct, you got to do... Ooh, I just gave you the finger. Look at that. You got to do a lot of work to this. So you could do it. Is it worth it? I don't know. I may do it just for the hell of it because I'm not going to keep it otherwise, and I don't want my dog to just eat it and choke on plastic. Let's look at the bowl. Put that there for a minute. Let's take a look at the bowl. I'm a little curious about that. I was curious if this was going to be a rehash. It is not. Now, what's interesting about this bowl is that this came with the 7-inch, and it has those two little holes in it. I don't know what those are for. I really don't. But it is textured like wood and everything, so I was curious what this one was going to look like. This actually has some pretty good texturing on it. It has some nice wood grain. It's hard plastic. This one's a little rubbery. This is hard plastic, but it is of a size that it does kind of feel appropriate for your 11-incher. So let's grab Chicky Nuggies here. And as you can see, the ratio is not bad at all. So you definitely could... And this says copyright 2020, so this was made this year for this. This was not just something they threw in there, so maybe they did do it. But Baby Yoda can hold it, so The cup is decent. What else we got? Oh, and then, of course, the thing that we all wanted to see, which was shifty knob drones. Now, to date, Sideshow Collectible is the only one that comes with a shifting knob. Now, what's interesting is that the bottom is not threaded. It's completely closed. And we know that it was Bando's shifter knob. Now, as you can see by my hand, it's a good size. So what would I do with this? I would cut this hole out, put something metal threaded in there to simulate that look. And because it's metal and has some weight to it, I would probably cut open the hand, reattach it, but put a magnet in here so that it goes right in just like the Sideshow one does, which is probably what this was molded from. But very cool. Very cool little addition to the set. So, I dropped it. So the bowl and this, great accessories, plus a Mythosaur pendant that has a nice silver look to it and sits very nicely on your Baby Yoda. You go into the eyes, make them black, put a black wash over this. Look, it'll look really good. So I definitely think that if you're going to spend 20 bucks on a Baby Yoda, this is the one to get. Because you get the Yoda, and then you get all this other crap. Whether you want it or not, you got it. So why not get more for the same price? Just makes the most sense. And I just realized the Mythosaur pendant does have snap attachment. That's even better. So now I have both of these. Now one of these is going to my friend Ryan, because I don't need the Mythosaur pendant. So, and he does not have one. So he'll be getting one, because I don't need it, like I said. And the real question is, how are we going to mod this? So we are going to mod Baby Yoda. This is going to happen. So if I go back to the feet, if you look at the Baby Yoda's feet here, the coloring matches. So you could put these feet on this Baby Yoda and it wouldn't be bad at all. You know, just to have those little feet poking out, that would be okay. So what we will probably do is create some sort of a hard base to attach the feet to so it sits. And then those feet just kind of stick out from that base. Much like this one, actually. Something very similar to what you see with this. So, you know, the feet are there, but they're part of a hard base. And so that's probably how we're going to end up doing this. But just for sake of argument, this little guy, adorable. And you know, if you leave him alone, he'll do the force. So if I switch this over to, he's doing stuff without me doing it. If I switch this over to just try me. Come on. I mean, that dude sitting in the pram doing that, too cute. And then, of course, if you switch it to all the way on, and then he goes to bed. So, as far as the 7-inchers go, worthy. This is the one you want. Comes with the Mythosaur pendant, fully animatronic, has these really nice sort of latexy ears. They move. You get all this movement. This is a really nice one to get at 7 inches. Would love it if they made an 11-inch one that did all this, but they don't. So this is the one that I recommend picking up if you're going to do the 7-inch one. This other 7-inch guy does come with the better frog, which is great. But that's really the only reason to get him, unless you want the voice box to rip out and put into the 11-incher. But getting the other one also does get you the feet. And then you have feet that you can attach and put feet on your 11-incher and make him a little taller, maybe like a 13. And then when he's a 13, that's a little closer to the 1-to-1 scale you're looking for. I realize I think the Sideshow's like 19 inches. But the big question everybody says is the Sideshow one worth it when it doesn't pose and it doesn't move. And I've seen, the Adam Savage videos and stuff where they chop it all up. And do you really need to do that? Well, we're going to look at whether or not we really need to do that. Obviously, the face sculpt isn't as perfect as the Adam Savage one, but there may be a solution for that too. So we're gonna play with it. We're gonna continue to finish the pram. The video that you will watch on the pram will have from the beginning to the end. I'm filming it in parts, and then I'm just putting them together so that it'll look, even though you see it now and it's not done, when I post the video, it'll be before that and go all the way to the end. And as for what's being done with Baby Yoda, it's really just going to kind of come down to some airbrushing and some part swapping and some creativity. And we're going to end up with something very, very, very awesome that isn't going to cost you $375. And if you wanted that and you bought that, more power to you. I'm not going to yell at somebody for buying a kick-ass prop. But I got some plans for all these Mattel guys. So like I said, one of these is going out to a friend of mine for Christmas. Maybe two of them are going out for Christmas. I may send one to another friend as a gag after a little bit of modification. But in the end, I'm just going to have one Baby Yoda and that animatronic one for the pram. And that's going to be like my setup. So long story short, the Costco version of this is the definitive version to buy if you're buying the 11-inch guy. You get the V2 costume and paint job, which is great. And you end up with some pretty cool extra parts. The best of which is this. And again, you could drill a small hole in this and attach it to the hand. And if you use the mod I showed you in an early video on how to pose Baby Yoda, it'll make it easier to actually pose him. But number of ways you could do that. But I think having the shifter knob makes for a much better display. Having him looking up with the hand out is just a much better display. And the Sideshow can't do that unless you modify it and break it. There is no way to do that without breaking it. That is the downside to the Sideshow. If you are going to do it, I recommend checking out Adam Savage's video so that you see what not to do and what to do in the same time. But thanks for checking this out. And as usual, go buy Baby Yodas, because the more you support The Mandalorian, the more product you buy from The Mandalorian, the more it shows Star Wars that this is not the boycott crap that Solo had to deal with that killed the movie franchise. This will encourage them to make more Disney Plus stuff. This is the revenue. Remember, we're not buying tickets. So the only thing that generates them revenue is the merch. So you really want to go out and support the Mando merch. So keep picking them up, mod them, paint them, do what you got to do. We'll do a video on how to mod this down the line. Thanks, guys. I'm going to go to bed.